Hello, good morning everyone. Today I will talk about language. Before we get into the material, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Agnes Hestiani. You can call me Agnes. I'm from class P1 majoring in English language and culture in the third semester. Okay, I will explain some material about language. The first one is language and linguistic. The second one is language double articulation. The third is syntax. And the fourth, function of language. And 5, micro function of language. And 6, macro function of language. And 7, language overview. 8, language definition. And 9, language science. And 10 types of language science. And the last, language and communication. Alright, on this occasion, I will be presenting chapter 1, the concept of language. Okay, 1.1, Introduction to Language and Linguistics. As we all know, language is a system of communication used by humans to express thought, ideas, emotion, and information. It consists of words, symbols, sounds, and gestures, organized by specific rules that allow people to understand each other. Language can be spoken, written, or signed. For example, express through like, yes, you can clap or you yeah, you can cry or anything, yes, like this. And there are 5 key aspects of language. The first one is communication. Communication language allows people to share information, express needs, and engage in social interaction. And number 2, symbols and signs. Spoken language uses sounds, while written language uses symbols or letters. In some cases, like sign language, it uses gesture. And number 3 is grammar. This refers to the rules that govern how words are arranged in sentences, ensuring that communication is clear and understood. And number 4 is diversity. Thousands of languages exist worldwide, with major examples being English, Spanish, Mandarin, and Hindi. Each language reflects its culture and history. And number 5 is evolution. Language is dynamic, constantly involving new words are created, old ones followed of use, and the way people communicate can change over time. Okay, I will move on to linguistics. What do you know about linguistics? Okay, I will explain what linguistics is. Linguistics is the scientific study of language, focusing on its structure, usage, and the ways it acquired and understood. It examines how language works, evolve, and vary across regions and groups. Broadly, linguistics can be divided into several core subfields. There are One, phonetic and phonology. Phonetic is the study of the sound of human speech, while phonology deals with how those sounds function in particular language or dialects. And number 2 is morphology. This is the study of word information and structure, analyzing how words are built from smaller units called morphemes. Example: Gracia, un, happy, and lie. And number 3 is syntax. Syntax examines the rules that govern sentence structure, explaining how words combine from grammatically or correct sentence. And number 4, semantic, the study of meaning in language. Semantic looks at how words, phrase, and sentence convey meaning. And number 5 is pragmatics. Pragmatics goes beyond literal meaning to consider context, how language is used to communication, and the implied meanings of utterance. Number 6 is social linguistics. This file explores how language varies change in social contexts, looking at the factors like class, gender, and ethnicity and geography. And number 7 is psycholinguistics. This branch focuses on how language is processed in the brain from production to comprehension and language acquisition. And the last, historical linguistics. This area investigates how language evolved over time, the relationship between language and how new language developed. Let's move to double articulation. Language consists of tens of thousands of signs, which are communication of forms and meanings. I will give you example of signs. Okay. Okay, this is example of signs.
Hello. Hello. You got your hand right up here at your forehead, and it's coming out. Hello. How are you? How are you?
Okay, I think enough. Okay, let's move to language double articulation. Double articulation refers to how language operates on two levels. First, articulation. Language is divided into meaningful units like words or morphemes. For example, in this video. The dog barks. Dog and barks are meaningful units. They refer to a thing and an action. And the second, articulation. These meaningful units can be further broken down into smaller units like sound or phonemes that by themselves do not have meaning but are essential to form the meaningful parts. For example, the word dog is made up of three sounds: D, O, and G. Dog. Double articulation makes language efficient efficient because with a limited set of sound phonemes, we can create an unlimited number of meaningful words and sentences. For example, first articulation. I'm reading a book. For meaningful units, I am reading a book. Second articulation, each of these words is made up of smaller sounds. First articulation, I am reading a book. For meaningful units, I am reading a book. Second articulation, each of these words is made of smaller sounds. I am reading a book, like this word. For number 2 is syntax. Syntax is the study of how words are arranged to form sentences. It focuses on the rules that dictate sentence structure. In English, the common sentence structure is subject, verb, object, or CPO. Example, John, subject, eats, verb, and apple, object. Each language has its own syntactic rules. In Japanese, for instance, the order is typically subject, object, verb. Example, John and apple eats. Syntax also confers how different parts of a sentence fit together, like noun, phrase. For example, the big house, and verb phrase is running quickly. Example, she is reading a letter. The structure follows subject, she, plus verb, plus object. She is subject, and the verb is writing, and object a letter. For number 3 is functions of language. Roman Jacobson identified 6 primary functions of language. The first one is referential function. Language used to convey information or facts. Example, the sky is blue. For number 2, emotive, expressive function. Language used to express the speaker's feelings or emotion. For example, is I'm so happy today. Like this. For number 3 is cognitive function. Language used to influence the behavior of others. Examples, please sit down. Please sit down. Like this. For number 4, pathetic function. Language used to maintain social relationship or ensure communication channels are open. For example, hello, Hello, can you hear me? Like this. Hello, can you hear me? Like this. For number 5, mental linguistic function. Language used to discuss or clarify language itself. Example, what does syntax means? What does syntax means? Like this. For number 6 is poetic function. Language focuses on the aesthetic quality or style of the message. For example, is the wind whispers softly through the trees. The wind whispers softly through the trees, like this. And I will explain about micro function of language. Michael Halliday developed the concept of micro function to explain how language is used in specific ways, especially in children's speech. The first one is instrumental. Is using language to express needs. Example, I want water. I want water. For number 2 is regulatory, using language to control others' behavior. For example, stop doing that. Stop doing that. For number 3 is interactional, using language to build social relationship. For example, hi, how are you today? Hi, how are you today? Like this. For number 4 is personal, using language to express personal opinions or feelings. For example, I don't like broccoli. I don't like broccoli. Like this. For number 5, heuristic, using language to learn or discover. Example, why is the sky blue? Why is the sky blue? For number 6, imaginative, using language to create imaginary words or scenario. For example, let's pretend I'm superhero. Let's pretend I'm a superhero. Okay. For number 7, right? Okay. For number 7, representational, using language to convey information or fact. For example, the cat is on the roof. The cat is on the roof. Okay, let's talk about Let's talk about macro function of language. Macro functions of language refer to the broader overarching purpose that language serves in society. The first one is communication. The primary purpose of language is to communicate ideas, thoughts, and feelings between people. For example, conversing with friends about a movie. Okay, for number 2, expression of identity. Language is often used to express cultural or group identity. For example, speaking a regional dialect to identify with a local community. For number 3, social interaction. Language is used to maintain relationship and social cohesion. For example, greetings, apologize, and casual conversation. For number 4 is, I forgot. Cultural transmission. Language passes cultural knowledge and norms from one generation to the next. For example, teaching children verbs or cultural stories. For number 5 is cognitive development. Language helps in organizing and shaping our thought. Example, children learn about the world through language. Like this. Okay, let's talk about language overview. Language is a system of symbols, of words, sounds, and gestures. Used for communication, it allows humans to convey ideas, thought, emotion, and knowledge. It is governed by rules at several levels. Phonology, the study of sounds. Morphology, the structure of words. Syntax, the arrangement of words in sentence. Semantic, the meaning of words and sentences. Pragmatic, the use of language context. Language can be spoken, written, or signed, and they vary greatly across cultures and regions. Okay, let's talk about language definition. According to linguists like Ferdinand de Saussure, language is a system of signs where each sign consists of, the first one is signifier, the form of the word or sound. The second one is signify, the concept or idea that the words represents. Saussure emphasizes that language is a social phenomenon governed by rules agreed upon by a community of speakers. For example, the word tree. Tree is signifier. This represents the concept of a tall plant with leaves and a trunk. Signifier. And let's talk about language science. Saussure's theory of science divides them into two parts. The first one is signifier, the physical form like sound or letters. For example, the sound is tree. For the second one is signifier, the concept or meaning behind the signs. For example, is the idea of a tall leafy plant, like this. And for example, is signifier, the word apple, sown or written form. Signify the concept of a round, red, or green fruit. And I will talk about types of language signs. There are three main types of signs. The first one is icon. Yeah, like this. A sign that resembles the thing it represents. For example, a picture of a tree. And the second one is index, a sign that has a direct link to its object. For example is smoke is an index of fire. And the last one is symbol, a sign where the relationship between the sign and its meaning is arbitrary or based on convention. For example is the words red symbolizes a particular color, but tree is not natural connection between the words and the color. Okay, I will talk about the next one is language and communication. Language is the main tool humans use for communication. Communication involves sender, or is the person who sends the message. Message means the content being communicated. Medium, the method used to send the message, spoken, written, and non-verbal. Receiver, the person receiving the message, like this. Communication can be verbal, speaking and writing, or non-verbal, gesture, facial, and expression. Both forms of communication rely on shared understanding between participants to be effective. For example, a person says it's raining, and the listener understands that they need an umbrella. In bahasa is peka. Yes, like this. And I will talk about foreign language. A foreign language is any language learned or used by someone in a country where that language is not the native language. For example, English is a foreign language for most people in Indonesia, while Indonesian would be a foreign language for someone in the United States. Learning a foreign language typically involves input, means like listening and reading in the foreign language. Output, speaking and reading the foreign language. And cultural contents. Understanding how the language is used in social situation or specific cultural context. For example, a person from France learning Chinese is acquiring a foreign language that differs significantly from their native language in structure and pronunciation. That's all from me. Thank you.